Legend of Zelda, Fire Emblem, Persona, and even Dragon Quest got Warriors as spin-offs. So I think it is fair to say that in this day and age, every form of media, even niche and weird like Token Rambo, are eligible to get a Warriors spin-off treatment. And not every single one of these games tried to do the Warriors formula where you go from a stage to a stage hacking and slashing through enemies. Dragon Quest Heroes 2, for example, trying to implement more exploration to make the game feel more like a Dragon Quest game and less than a Warriors game. The best example of this is Persona 5 Strikers. While it retained most of the elements of the original Persona 5, it was more like an action RPG, with the warriors' combat being implemented in the dungeons. So when you tell me that Fate, one of the biggest forms of media in anime and visual novels, is getting a Dynasty Warriors treatment by Omega Force and Koei Tecmo, and it features Iori Miyamoto, adopted son of Musashi, as the main character, and it has returning characters as well, I can't help but feel excited. The story of Fate Samurai Remnant takes place in 1600 Edo, where many masters and servants are participating in an event called the Waxing Moon. Now, what is Waxing Moon? It is a phenomenon known as the Wish Granter. So whoever gets this Waxing Moon gets to have their biggest wish granted to them. As mentioned, you play as Iori Miyamoto, a guy who is trying to live a peaceful life out of trouble, but soon is dragged into the biggest trouble of his life, which is the Waxing Moon. Soon enough, Iori is joined by Saber as they embark on this journey to the ritual of Waxing Moon. During this journey, you meet many new characters and many returning characters that fans of the Fate franchise know completely. Characters like Rogue Lancer or the recognizable boss. And even Dynasty Warriors fans will feel at home thanks to inclusion of characters like Zhou Yu. But you know what's the best thing about all of this? I know some people think that Fate is a very complicated franchise to get into, but the good thing about this game is that you don't need to know anything about Fate to be able to enjoy this game. I mean, being familiar with Fate helps that you recognize some of the characters, but outside of that, this game is completely standalone and you don't need to know anything about Fate to be able to enjoy the story of this game. Now, as I mentioned, this is a Warriors spin-off, which means the gameplay is gonna be a hack and slash in the style of musou games. However, this is an action RPG. Instead of following the usual musou formula, this game is more like Persona 5 Strikers. There are many different regions and cities in this game, each of them have their own unique shops, NPCs, and secrets to find. Graphically, this game is nothing special, but the visuals are decent enough to look at. But what is special is the amazing soundtrack, which is really enjoyable to listen to. Also, going from city to city, seeing Saber looking at everything with curiosity, trying to eat everything at a food stand is also pretty funny. So exploration is a very big part of this game. However, some of the missions are very repetitive, like go here, defeat this samurai, go here, pet this dog, go here, find this item, and as such. So the exploration, although good, is nothing special and can get very repetitive at times. But at the end of the game, it's not something you hate, you're gonna enjoy it nonetheless. One thing I like to praise though is the enemy variety. There are many different types of enemies and each of them look very unique and have different ways of defeating them. Now, this game is a hack and slash game, but following the footsteps of Neo, there are different stances that Iori can learn and use to his advantage. You don't change weapons at all, but the different stances make up for that. Each character also has a skill tree, which means once you level up you get a skill points and you can use that to learn new abilities and get stronger. There's also a small crafting mechanic, which means that you can dismantle some old weapons and useless weapons and empower your better ones. One more thing that stops the game from becoming repetitive and the combat being tedious is the use of different rogue servants. Obviously, Iori is the main character and the character that you're gonna be spending most of your time playing, and Saber is your permanent party member or your permanent servant. However, there are many rogue servants in the game, and once you start doing their quests and getting to know them, they will become your party members, which you can use as your secondary servant. This game also has a tag team feature, which means during battle you can change to your servants for a certain amount of time. And this becomes especially useful during boss fights and strong enemy fights. And once you get into battles, they are actually very well designed and very fun. During the battle, if you nail your dodge time, you can do a flurry rush, or if you change your stance in the right moment, you also get a bonus. There are also many different special moves, and there's a special move once your servant stamina fills up, you can call them into battle and they will do their special moves. There's also a combo attack which you can combine your power with your servant. If I had to say that this is similar to a certain game, I would say that this reminds me of Like a Dragon Ishin. And just like that game, this game doesn't take itself very seriously either. There are so many stupid and funny moments in this game that you have to experience for yourself. While the main story mode is also filled with content, there are 3 different DLCs and each of them add new characters and new chapters to the game. The first DLC is basically a tournament arc which has one of the best boss fight musics and one of the best boss fights in the game as well. And you have to finish it multiple times to be able to fully experience it. But my favorite DLC has to be the second one, the Yagyo Sword Chronicles, which is about Munenori Yagyo. And this DLC adds who in my opinion is the best character in the game and the best character story of the game. But I'm pretty sure fans of the Dynasty Warriors will enjoy the third story the most because it features none other than the man himself, Zhao Yun. So if you ever plan to play this game, just know that the DLCs are also worth buying and also worth checking. Overall, Fate Samurai Remnant is a really good game and a very complete action RPG that sadly did not get the attention it deserved. I know it's sold well because Fate fans are of course gonna buy this game, and of course Warriors fans are gonna check this game out as well, and seeing so many of elements of this game made it into Dynasty Warriors Origins makes me think that this game did not get the attention it deserved. So if you are looking to get away from big open world AAA games and play something similar to the feeling of those old PS2 games, Fate Samurai Remnant is the perfect choice, and I think it deserves the time and attention. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this game, be sure to like and subscribe. Tell me in the comments how you feel about this game, if you have played this game or not, and who is your favorite character. Until next time, take care.